Welcome to Loudoun County, Virginia and Segra Field. Big matchup tonight in Group F. It might well be a must-win in Leesburg. And on behalf of Segra, the official communication partner of Loudoun United FC, we welcome you to tonight's Pride match. With Devin Kerr, Mike Watts on hand as Red Bulls 2 set to take on Loudoun United. And in Group F, Devin, Pittsburgh beating Hartford last night handily means one of these teams can close the gap trying to get towards second.
I'll take it even further, Mike. I will say it out loud and proud. It's an elimination match. Repeat, if you do not win tonight, you are done. Considering the fact that they have to play Pittsburgh and Hartford consecutively, both of these teams in their next 2 games, combined with the fact that Loudoun play Pittsburgh 2 more times after that. If you don't get a result tonight, you're done. Simple as that.
Let's take a look at Loudoun United's last performance. It was good nearly to the last drop in the last 5 minutes.
The best that they've been throughout any of their games so far. Unfortunately, 85 minutes doesn't get you to the finish line, does it? Elvis from distance. Shane Wheat gets his first professional goal. There were some special things going on for Hartford Athletic at the tail end of the game. Use this as motivation. Build on it. They are capable of getting a result. Just hasn't been the way that they wanted to start in 2020. You could say the same thing for New York Red Bull too. 5 out of their 6 losses just by 1 goal. A lot of players down in MLS's back bubble, and they're still with New York Red Bull, so they don't have the help on that side. You did get 2 back in the likes of John Tolkien and Chris Lemma. Unfortunately, they just haven't gotten the results. Systematic changes, philosophies stay the same. Gotta find a way to get a result tonight.
Red Bull 2 have had some really painful losses along the way. Can they turn this thing around on the road? There's a little rivalry here. I-95 not so kind. Red Bull 2 and Loudoun United. We kick off when we come back.
Hey everybody, please, if you get a minute, download the new Loudoun United app. We're very excited to unleash this for our first game this Wednesday here, and it should be an exciting new project that everybody's put together. So if you can, download the new app. There'll be different trivia games going on, as well as score predictions that you can put in and enter to win prizes for this one here. Hopefully you put that Loudoun wins. That would be a win for all of us.
This is business today. Fast, unpredictable, always changing. Shifting trends and technologies are pushing aside old rules. The unexpected is the new normal. At Segra, we'll help you navigate a complex future with state-of-the-art voice, internet, and data protection solutions. We know you have dreams, and we see your potential. Segra, freedom to grow.
If you were injured tomorrow, the ER may not be your best option. At Ortho Virginia, we can treat urgent orthopedic injuries without an appointment and diagnose non-urgent injuries virtually through video visits. Take the first step toward recovery, because stronger starts here.
Welcome back, everybody. Segra Field in Leesburg, Virginia. Loudoun United taking on New York Red Bulls 2, and the match tonight is presented by Segra. With Devin Kerr, Mike Watts on hand. So much, Devin, we talk about DC United, New York Red Bulls. It's that great Atlantic rivalry. And now, of course, we see a lot of guys who played against one another at the academy level, seeing that out at the pro level. That's exciting for these players.
You're naive to think that it doesn't matter, because they're learning a system. They're understanding exactly what they're expected of within their organization, and then who their opponents are regularly. You understand that New York Red Bull and DC United, the battles that they've had over so many years, and they want to make sure that they're representing their teams as well and get an opportunity to do it at the highest level. Ryan Martin comes to town. Here's what he's bringing. Endor up top, and Gamble on the left. Mustafa on the right, Fawoli. These 4 have got to find a way to start finishing more, because the back has been good, and even in the build-up in the midfield under Elvis, fantastic. Only change you're going to see is Colin Miller. He steps in goal as Lefebvre takes the seat.
Tonight's starting lineup was brought to you by Loudoun Economic Development. Meanwhile, for New York Red Bulls too, Devin, they are so young. They have had some heartbreaking losses along the way. Here's the lineup they send out, a little more experience now.
They've still been right there in every game, though. And we talked about that in the open. 6 changes for John Wolyniak. They're just trying to find a way to get a result. And, you know, they battled back against Hartford Athletic. It was 2-1. Same thing again in that August 12th matchup against Loudoun United. That was Loudoun's victory. And you wonder what this is going to look like. They're trying to play in that 4-2-2-2. They can drop into 2 holding. They can slide 1 into the attacking midfielder role. They did that late in the game against Hartford Athletic. Had some success. Caden Clark would be the man to Loudoun. However, Elney and LaCava still got to find a way to stick it in. Both of these teams have not been able to tickle the nylon regularly enough. Goals win games. Time as old as tell.
Ryan Martin and John Wolyniak, both coaches that really like to get after it, and we'll see if there are goals to be had here this evening. And Devin and I had a chance to speak with Ryan Martin earlier this week, and this is a couple of teams with significant injuries. The injury report is brought to you by Ortho Virginia, the official sports medicine partner of Loudoun United FC. That's not going to help your cause, and yet he feels like the group that went to Hartford and really performed well for 85 minutes can learn a lesson from that game and still be aggressive coming out tonight.
As we mentioned, plenty of talent on both of these teams. Think about the runs that they've gone on in the past as well. Loudoun United, their expansion year, fantastic to close out the 2019 campaign. Red Bull 2 under John Wolyniak, they've been known to go after this as well. Come the end of the season, all they're looking to do is find a bit of form, a few matches to go, get some results, get into the postseason, and then get after it. Again, this is a must-win game.
Ready for kickoff here in Leesburg. A game with huge implications in the USL Championship season.
1 minute, 15 seconds.
And we're underway. This knotted out. Red Bull in gray tonight, Loudoun in red. Garay puts it in play. Both these teams, and Loudoun has a much shorter history to draw from, have shown the ability, Devin, late in the season to really pick up steam. That little bit of experience you gain in the first 16 games of a year really carry through to the latter half. This year, you only get 16.
It's not an option at all. And the luxury to continue to create chemistry, experience for some of the youngsters. For specifically Red Bull 2, working into a new system that's been pushed by the wayside. This is where the mentality comes into play, just to find a way to go out and get a result. Athleticism aside, you've got to have the confidence in yourself to compete. And competition is one of the talking points around United States soccer, whether it be Academy, USL 2, 1 championship, and moving into MLS. These Academy teams where, you know, some of that has been lost a little bit. They want the fire in the belly of these players to go after results. Technical, yes. Understanding footballing IQs, 100%. But they got to have that drive as well. This is a great opportunity for them to showcase it.
Gamble. Tight area there. Garay couldn't get out of it. And New York into the final third. Jay with the cutback. And there's the service. Lofts too far. Terrific to find Al-Mustafa. And here comes Loudoun with no shortage of goal-scoring threats. Fawole. Oh, 1 step too far.
Got to release that ball early. So many options on the back stick, Mike. Just let it go. Great build-up out of the back. Beautiful dissecting ball within their own defensive third. Then you get yourself into trouble. Now they're scrambling.
Jay delivers. There are fans in the stands here tonight. Soon enough, the Washington Spirit will be making their way back into Segra Field. Plenty of soccer to be had in Virginia in coming weeks. This is a missile that got deflected and leads to a corner for New York Red Bulls too. Not a bad idea at all from Lemma. Can you believe, Devin, all-time leader in appearances for Red Bulls too? And you think about all the great names that have rolled through this USL side over the last 5 years.
Finally earned himself a New York Red Bull contract. He was one of the players we talked about that was down at MLS's back in the bubble. He and John Tolkien. 14 days to go through quarantine and transition these players back and forth between the squads. Difficult to handle.
Diving attempt at that. Settled and floated forward by Sharifi. Good control, Lindor. Forward from Lemma. Now driving ahead. This ball knocked right at Miller. Sharif J has been really getting after it in the early going. The former Louisville Cardinal. Corner. You and I saw him back in college. Saw him in the ACC championship final.
Good player. Get him running downhill. That's when he's at his best. Saw a couple matches back against Philadelphia Union too as well.
Lemma's second corner. Sharifi knocks it back into the channel. Staying on side. Deflects away. Here's Loudoun trying to get out into open space. Lindor. Offside flag raised again. Beg your pardon, they bring it back to the point of that initial pass.
You want the foul or no? Okay, good.
Colin Miller awaits. Taking a bit of a mental break in game here. They gave him a break over these last few days as Red Bull cuts this out. Sometimes when the games are coming fast and furious, as a young goalkeeper, and he's only 23, only his second year as a pro. To give him a moment to breathe. Simone Lefebvre came in. He's unavailable tonight. Flighted ball. There's Miller again. That's pinpoint distribution. Foul, Lamo. Well, the players are stopping here. Prior to this game, Loudoun United and New York Red Bulls 2 discussing how to best stand and use their platform here. They've come together to recognize the fight for equality, diversity, and inclusivity by using the next minute and 46 seconds, from 7 minutes to 8 minutes and 46 seconds. Two very powerful, certainly symbolic numbers, not to play soccer, but rather to honor the ongoing movement around social injustice and the need for positive change in our sport, in our society. It comes just a day after the unveiling the Black Players Alliance, an organization recognized by the USL and the USLPA with a mission to educate and empower its members to use their platforms to bring positive change to their communities. The organization issued a statement. It reads, "We want to create consistent dialogue with the clubs, league, and communities we serve in order to create more diverse environments. As Black players, we want to use our voices to amplify the issues surrounding racism and social injustice throughout our country, be a conduit for positive systemic change. In alliance with the USLPA and with support from the USL, we will continue to shine a light on the important issues affecting not only our players within the league, but also the communities we support. We're dedicating to leading the charge for impactful change." Applause from the fans at Segra Field. Devin and I had a chance to speak with Ryan Martin in the lead up to this game, and he said going all the way back to George Floyd's death, a lot of uncomfortable conversations, a moment of growth for players and the staff, trying to ask, can we make a difference, big or small, in the community and to help educate? Trying to gain the perspective and understanding of the teammates and staff who've been affected either directly or indirectly. Red Bull control the ball in the 10th minute.
It's pretty impressive, the push that's coming from the front three right now. Lakava, Sharif J, and Sebastian Elney. We became so accustomed to Red Bull system of a 4-2-3-1 or a 4-3-3. They started with two holding, and they still are. Caden Clark's playing in the 10, but they're allowing the outside wingers in Lakava and Jay to play quite high. Just keep the double pivot in the midfield. Hoping for distribution, playing out of the back. Anytime Chris Lemon's on the ball, that's a good look.
Advantage is played here. That's a really clever idea, and it was broken up by Wheat for a moment. Ball cut back here by Tolkien. Little interchange. This will deflect and get over Miller. It'll lead to another Red Bull corner. And Devin, we know about some of the big players that have come through Red Bull now, but we didn't know them in 2015, 2016. Yeah. So you're talking about some of these players making impressive impacts thus far. Not too long ago, those are Florian Velo and Vincent Bezecourt and Brandon Allen and Tom Barlow and Aaron Long and Tyler Adams.
There you go. Yeah. Big names that people have come to learn, become quite household, right? Second nature, especially if you're a Red Bull fan. Caden Clark's one that turns my head in the same situation. All the potential in the world.
Lemma.
The spin on that around the flag.
You're looking at a kid that regularly has been asked to travel across seas, famed Barcelona Academy, and talks about his time there. What a great opportunity to experience the culture, the life, cultivate his own skill set, and come back home. Of course, coming from the FC Barca Residency Academy in Arizona.
Minnesota native who made his way down to that residency academy, which sprouted up as the Casa Grande Academy for RSL, disbanded. Gets toward the penalty spot and will roll out.
Just 17 years of age, he's coming into his own, and people might turn their head a little bit and say, how is he coming into his own at such a young age? His IQ is off the charts. If you watch him play, he just glides in and out of these pockets of space within this system. Understands where he's a necessity moving forward, but also understands that certain things are necessary for him to get done in order to make that happen. And especially the way that they're lining up tonight, where they're playing so high with those front threes, going to be asked to cover a lot of ground in the midfield. There's a pretty good look at it. He'll be the lone one sitting in front of Lemma and Sharifi. And when you have to start to drift side to side, that's when Lemma and Sharifi have to step up in and help out as well. Good look, he's just inside the center circle, behind the referee. Can't hide, got to go ball hunt a little bit.
Lemma pursues, Green plays it into the stands. Jacob Green can play on either side of this back four, commit to Maryland. He himself still only 17. This is onside through the center backs. The cutback ball leads to another Red Bulls 2 corner. You know, Devin, I flipped on ESPN today, and there's high school football, and there's a couple transcendent players they always talk about. Always 17, but this guy could be a star on a D1 FBS roster right now. Some of these 16, 17, 18-year-olds, you're sitting here going, not long that they're going to be here. Lemma delivers. This time it's Undor who rose to the occasion. Loudoun really pressing on that second ball to try and get it back, and they have won it. Mustafa. Red Bull 2 playing their 9th game this year. They've conceded inside 15 minutes 4 times, including against Loudoun. Free kick, Loudoun United.
Never easy when you put yourself behind the 8 ball that early on in a match, Mike. And though that streak may be pushed to the side, only seconds behind it, an opportunity for John Wolinak's boys to get on the board early in a match. They've had to deal with the same thing. It's a bit far out for Chris Lemma to get involved here and have a strike. So deadly from set piece situations. And they're going the other direction. And of course, you're going to get Jeremy Garay instead. Watch him set this piece up. He was the assist maker for Shane Weed on his first pro goal.
There is Garay. Ball headed up, attempted bicycle kick. Nowhere near target. It was glorious as he went up for it. The crowd just loves the acrobatics of Undor's effort.
There was a rate in 2019 where it just seemed everything that he touched turned to gold. His 5 goals, 4 appearances, and assists to match. Pretty spectacular. Hasn't hit the back of the net yet this year, Mike. And it's a frustrating time for him. There's the transition of Elvis Amo into the midfield. That was kind of my need, to be honest. Short-handed, he's been fantastic. But Undor seems to be on an island by himself at times. And when you're 1v3, haven't scored a goal, you start to question your own skills. And sometimes just a spectacular movement such as that can get you back on track.
Rito was asking for more and was gesturing on the runs he wanted out in front of him. Ricardo Rito making his 6th appearance this year, played 22 times a year ago, and they really felt like the Venezuelan had shown his potential in flashes before he was injured. Mustafa. Referee does bring play to that foul. Josh Fawole shouldered into the ground.
There's a boatload of intensity in this match so far. Wide open, back and forth. You can see they're in it to win it. They understand exactly what's at stake, regardless of the rivalry. Just at the back end of your screen, you get a good look at the challenge inside on Mustafa. Mustafa can really fly. The question is there going to be a balance on the other side in Michael Gamble when they flipped him with Josh Fawole, put Fawole in the 10. It's a different look than we've seen out of Gamble in the past.
Quickly put in play, Saravia. Well, this could be disaster. He's lost the ball. That's a vital intervention coming up from behind by Green. Those are great concept plays, but if they break down, they can be a real nightmare.
Yeah, it's the one you get back in the dressing room and go, well, we'll probably tear this out of the book. Save that one for Christmas dinner. Didn't exactly turn out the way we want to. A couple more repetitions before we put it back on the table.
Yep, Ryan Martin's going to be grabbing a napkin at dinner tonight and trying to scratch something else out there. 19th minute here, Devin. I think back to a conversation, this was years ago with John Walenek. This is an environment where emptying the tank is anticipated, expected, celebrated, not only because of the system they play, but there's such a depth of players they're able to bring in. This is a foot race. Here comes Red Bull looking for the opening goal. They've grabbed it. Excellent finish from LaCava, his first of the year. The 19-year-old native of Connecticut.
This is some kind of ball played into him, though, Mike. I'll tell you what. Watch the weight on this pass coming out of the back. Quick little turn, Caden Clark, one look, a beautiful touch, and this thing just checks up. Fantastic ball played in behind the back line of Loudoun United. LaCava just ushers this thing over the end line. Difficult for Colin Miller as there was so much space for him to cover. Backline could not track back over, but the ball by Caden Clark was utterly sublime.
First professional goal for Jake LaCava, another Barca residency guy down in Arizona. He and Clark both traveled that same road, and that was, I think sublime was the right word, combination. Give Caden Clark a lot of credit. You extolled his virtue quite a bit in the early going. That one pass is a game changer.
People just don't understand how difficult it is as well, because he doesn't have a chance to set himself up, so you're only getting one as he goes back to work in the midfield. He's already checked one direction. Momentum changes, comes the other. He's got pressure on the weak side shoulder. He's got to put this ball up over the top, outside of his foot, and then drop it in to get help.
Mustafa floats that too far. Lindor circles and goes to work. Could this be a game with goals on goals on goals? Breaking that line of pressure, and Lemma lost it out of play. We had a pretty good view of that. I'm not so sure, and neither is the Red Bulls 2 head coach. One wonders when John Walenek will get a look. Going forward, if you're trying to play a system similar to this, and it's becoming so much more common, Devin, that constant high pressure seems like the guy you're looking for.
He's definitely spirited. Anytime you get the opportunity to pick the brain of the great John Walenek, player or coach, you feel for him. You want to strap on a shirt right away and go to work. You can understand why all of these players regularly go into battle. And the key point is here is they all understand exactly what's expected of them. And got the yellow card after this challenge on the far side as well. That's just a late challenge coming all the way back across. Right, Boateng knows that from that far off your back line, better come to win it. Just gets this one wrong.
I love the quote I read about Roy Boateng. He grew up a striker. Actually, he's a destroyer. was so there. It's his first yellow of the year in his 8th start. 16th overall pick out of UC Davis a year ago by New York.
Keep an eye here. First couple times they've tried to get clever. They go the direct route this time. You've got a lot of big bodies in the box. Use that to your advantage. Remember, Shane Wheat got on the scoreline the first time. Elvis Amo, Elian Endor. A lot of big bodies. Put it up, let them go make a play.
All 3 of those 6'2" were taller. And look to get a second headed ball. It was laced by Saravia toward 4 Loudoun players, all in offside positions. Here's Wallace Lapsley. I don't know a better way to describe him than interesting. Fulbright scholarship and just a brilliant guy. Sometimes you wonder if his college degree might be better used in society today than playing soccer. He got a degree at UC Davis in global disease biology.
Well, finally, in the opening portion of this match, it hasn't been a poor start from Red Bull 2, nor the back line, nor their goalkeeper. That's plagued them over the past few matches.
Oh, look at this run. There's contact, a penalty.
100%.
Loudoun in real trouble now. It was initially the work of Rito to set all that up, then found Jay on the run.
This was easy for the referee, Mike. I mean, I was right there with you on this thing. Little cut back across. Great set of skill. Apologies not necessary, as you knew you were in, Sharif Jay. Knew exactly what he wanted to do here. The architect of the offensive movement going forward, cuts this back across his body. Second that he gets to the byline. Had a couple runners here right at the top of the 6th to play it back across. Instead, he gets taken down. And an opportunity right around the 25-minute mark to go up 2-0. And the Fowley will get a chance, Sharif Jay, from the spot to double the lead for the visitors.
You win it, you take it. Sharif Jay has 1 goal this year. It was against Union 2 at the start of the month. And Colin Miller trying to keep this Loudoun side in this match right now. Red Bulls 2 look like the Red Bulls 2 of the last 5 years through the opening 25 minutes. And they grab a second goal. Really grab this game by the scruff of the neck. Sharif Jay. Off the post, stayed out, slid, and Miller makes the stop a second time. And there's life at Segra Field. Massive moment for Loudoun United.
Colin Miller gets the tiniest bit of touches, going low and to his right on this. Beyond difficult on the Richter scale for him to make this save. As low as humanly possible, a tiny deflection, a kiss from the woodwork, and just like that, he's able to come up with a spectacular save to keep his team in this match.
And you could see Jay put his hands over his face as soon as he knew that Miller had successfully snuffed it out in the end. Brutal moment for Red Bull 2. And for Loudoun, talk about something you really need in this moment. And there is an injured player.
Yeah, both your penalty taker and Sharif Jay. Looked like Sebastian Elney was involved as well when the two of them tried to come in on the follow-up. Mike, you take a look at the results for Red Bull 2. We were talking about it prior to the pen, and now afterward, even makes more sense. There's the giveaway by Lapsley at the start of the Philadelphia Union 2 game. They go down 1-0 inside of a minute, 17 seconds in. You had a similar situation. There's the penalty the very next game against the Pittsburgh Riverhounds, up 1-0 3 minutes in. Then the last time they played Loudoun, August 12th, he gets thrown out 15 minutes in. 2 out of 3 games, the goalkeeper, terrible mistakes. But all 3 of those matches, you start scrambling. They finally get on the front foot. Now you get an opportunity to go up by 2. Your captain goes down. Hopefully he's not hurt. Working on him right now. But you just sort of wonder, the way that the first half has gone, is this now the turning point for Loudoun United to start to get back into this? They've poked their head out a little bit. But the aggressor has definitely been New York Red Bull 2.
Elney clearly shaken up out of that YSC Academy in Philadelphia and was eligible to sign as a homegrown there. Instead, went to Maryland, won a national championship, signed with Red Bull 2 last year. And he's able to walk it off here a bit. Forward, a native of South Florida.
I've watched him since he was about 12 years old.
Yeah?
Yep, opportunity to see him from ground level. He was under the tutelage, what was then Boca United. Eric Eichmann, former U.S. men's national team player, Olympic player as well. Still the director of the academy there. And Boca High, fierce rival. I can't even stand the fact that I just had that come out of my mouth. But when I played high school ball, you know, I'm going back.
Where'd you play?
A couple years. Spanish River High School. Spanish River and Boca High, they go back a long way. And, you know, they had some pretty impressive players come out of there. They still do. When he comes back to the South Florida area, Boca Raton, know the guy that he trains with. Determined is a word that always comes out of the mouth of him. Talking about Sebastian Elney. Josh Sosarowski at Maryland will tell you the same thing. He has got an engine and quality skill, but will go for days. He understands that it's going to take a lot of hard work to get him where he wants to go, and that's the highest level possible.
Is that the nicest thing you've said about a player in that high school?
Oh, yeah. Absolutely. Well, put it to you this way. I've been suspended for less, so, so that's easy.
Spanish River High School, are you the most prominent soccer playing alum that's come out of there? Because if so, I'm not impressed.
I don't think so. Well, my buddy Scotty Gordon, a couple years younger than me, Lynn University product, actually started off at Mercer. Played for Chivas and FC Dallas.
Chivas or Chivas USA?
Chivas USA.
Big difference.
Yeah, we both figured that one out real quick. Spent some time with the then Fort Lauderdale Strikers. South Florida area is a hotbed, man.
Sure is. That's a foul from the Gamble. Liked what I've seen out Jay and Rito working off that right-hand side tonight.
Yeah, good combination. And it is the tweak in the system for me. These guys just don't exactly understand the 2-2-2 just yet. It's a popular formation floating around global football right now. Really difficult to get it right, though. And even if you go back to last year with what Philadelphia Union organization talked about with the then Bethlehem Steel, now Union 2, they said, listen, you know, sky's the limit in terms of the ceiling. The problem is if we don't get it right, things go terribly wrong and they do fast. And I think that's a pretty good idea of what's gone on for Red Bull 2 this year. Some real high moments, but the low ones have put them down in the dumps.
Sharifi walks away. This all the way across the face of goal and gets out the other side. Good looking ball from Lemma. He's put in a real shift so far tonight. We've reached a hydration break in Leesburg. Fairly warm weather tonight, but a reminder to people who may not know, one of the main reasons why these hydration breaks are so critical during the COVID-19 pandemic. So often we've had multiple corners where there's a water bottle by the goalkeeper. You can't share water bottles anymore. Spoke with U.S. Soccer's chief medical officer about this a couple of weeks ago and really came away with a better understanding of why all that is. But let's take a look at how we got to this 1-0 scoreline and how it could have just as easily been 2-0 if not for a vital intervention. What a ball this is.
Fantastic. Look at Caden Clark. He's got just enough pace on it to get it up over the back line. Chasing run of Alexon Saravia. Can't get into it, but it checks up enough for LaCava as well. Continue his run full stride the entire way. Colin Miller can't get to it. Here's the pen. Sharif J on the far side. Little tippy-toe, do-si-do. Let's go to the spot. Nope. Sorry about you. Colin Miller helping his team stay in this fantastic save by the goalkeeper. Don't got to get all of it. It's not a bad penalty either. Sometimes goalkeepers just got your number exactly the way that this one plays itself out.
I don't know what reaction was better, Mel getting up with the fist pump or ultimately Jay's despair, which in its own right, not a great reaction, but a great understanding of that moment. LaCava with his first career goal. Scored that back in the 19th minute. Guy who signed in July, Devin, and some of these Red Bulls 2 players really new to the equation. Guys got thrust into the spotlight maybe earlier and more often than anticipated. Simply when you consider the MLS bubble in Orlando, and every team that's affiliated with an MLS side in the league has felt the wide-ranging effects of that and the different protocols between the championship and MLS.
Well, think about Chris Lemma or John Tolkien. To get them here, you pull them out of one bubble with New York Red Bull. You have 14 days, and assuming nothing happens in that one, you can make the transition to Red Bull 2. If they play one game and then turn around and you want to bring them back in, it's another 14 days. So you've basically lost a month for one game. I don't mean that lost a month negatively, but it is. I mean, that's a lot of time frame. And understand, these players aren't training with the rest of the team at that point in time. So now you're losing fitness, you're losing their ability to get stuck in tackles. You know, it's a lot going on for these players. Testament to guys like Caden Clark and LaCava who have stepped up. Caden Clark, 17 years old. That was his 4th assist on the year. He's now T4 in the USL Championship with guys like Cristiano Francois of Reno, John Baccaro, Phoenix, Jan Ekera at the Rowdies. I mean, he's right there with some of the bigger names in the entire USL Championship.
Well, for the second consecutive day in the first half of the game, we see a captain go down with an injury. It was Canardo Forbes of Pittsburgh yesterday, and ultimately the Riverhounds beat Hartford in this group, 3-0. Now a substitution brought to you by Segra. Elney comes out. He was injured a few moments ago. And Antuma Torre, who goes, as one would imagine, by Yaya, comes in. That's some kind of thing to aspire to.
Would have been my guess, right?
Yep. Saravia. That does, just to clarify, because I think some coaches in the league may not be entirely sure, count as a substitution window coming out of the hydration break. So Red Bull do have 4 subs, but only 2 windows plus halftime to use them.
I appreciate the clarification there, by the way.
Uh-huh. A bit of miscommunication and pro referees internally handling the issue caused that San Antonio game to come under some question on the Western Conference. Oh, excellent. Mustafa from a door. Mustafa charges in. Charging out. Lapsley got a piece of his own player, and Kilwine kicking the ground, remains down.
We told you this team is capable of some fantastic build-up play. This is a good look at it, and the ball that gets sprayed down into the corner. It's one of 2 options here. Your first touch is out in front. The problem is there's no support coming from the weak side. So you've pretty much got to go in it alone. And this is where the decision-making of Wallace Lapsley was fantastic, coming off his goal line, cutting down the angle, because you force Mustafa to make a decision, and it's pretty much going to be one thing and one thing only. I'm going to be in a 1v1 situation with the ball out in front of me in a difficult spot where I'm going to have to go to goal myself.
Come on, Shane, double up here. Come on, Shane.
In the end, this will lead to a corner for Loudoun. Corner kick brought to you by Loudoun Economic Development, a team that's always in your corner. There's the cross, and lifted over by Amo. Since 1947, Select has been the leader in soccer ball quality and innovation. Select, the official ball supplier of the USL Championship in many of the elite leagues throughout Europe. For the latest select products and special offers, visit selectsportamerica.com. That ball's rolling quick. Kick save, Miller, and a beauty. Fresh into the game, and Torre trying to make an immediate impact. That's the fun part of this game, Devin. So much pace and ability. Two teams that love to high press. When you force that error, you can really get at a team.
This is some of the better quality we've seen out of both of these squads as well. Much cleaner on the ball. Ideas starting to take shape. Look at the space on this near side.
Race is on. Lapsley.
I'm gonna have a conversation with Wallace Lapsley. It's not the first time we've seen him venturing out, and just sort of wondering as to whether or not Wolyniak is actually comfortable with him coming that far off his line when it's not necessary.
We're starting to get into sweeper keeper territory, aren't we?
Well done.
Played ahead by Lemma. Torre. Jay, the step. Jay, the shot. Deflects. Comes to Miller. He almost got caught falling the wrong way.
He also knows he had the overlapping run of Caden Clark, which probably was the better option when he pulled this back. Cut it over to his left-hand side. Well done by the 10 to move all the way to the right. Well, maybe the deflection might have bolstered the ability of Colin Miller to pick up the shot. Not the case. And this young man right here, Elvis Amo, he's got to find a way to get more involved. It's a fantastic ball that he's just played to the other side. He's doing a lot of chasing defensively right now. They need his help going forward.
Just heard the coaching staff from the field bike speaking to how well that was handled. And this finds out Mustafa levels it. Individual brilliance from Mustafa. It's his first in the USL Championship, and the goal is brought to you by Loudoun Economic Development, always here to help you with your business goals.
This is fantastically done by Kairu Mustafa out on this right wing. Loads of pace for the player. Loves the 1v1 opportunities. And when he gets into these tight-knit situations, he's not afraid to take a chance. When he cuts this ball back across, it's game, set, match. Opens up all the space for himself. But watch this ball by Michael Gamble. Outside of the foot, slips it just to the side of Caden Clark. Drifts in behind John Tolkien. Quick little touch by Mustafa. And just like that, we're back at once.
Red Bull on a 4-match losing skid in that time. They've led just 2 minutes. They lead for 21 and then concede, and we're back on level terms. Look, I work as a public address announcer for Madison Square Garden, so I think I can say this. That is the best name you can say into a microphone. Mustafa. Rolling into the wide area. Tolkien. Tolkien delivers out of the stretched hand of Miller and ultimately got out. What a tremendous goal that could have been. It could have been a second for LaCava.
Every player on the pitch feeling themselves right now. Another fantastic ball whipped in. Watch this left foot. Sweeping ball. Just all the way back across. John Tolkien, advanced position. Villa not interested in challenging at all. Just allowing the run to happen in front of him. LaCava can't get enough. Outstretched body, stretches back a little bit. It's a really difficult ask when you're extending out that much. Good tackle. These boys are playing today, Mike.
Well, one has to think both teams will come out with a bit of attacking confidence from this game, and they both are going to need it. Hartford and Pittsburgh are sure to be watching. These two teams will each see them in their next 2 games, one apiece. And here comes New York again. Sharif J lining up Wheat. Gamble pokes it away. And a corner.
Still want to go back to Michael Gamble and how fantastic of a ball that he played into the path of Mustafa on the goal by Loudoun United. Michael Gamble has sort of been in and out of form this year. They've rotated him on the right into the middle. Of course, feeling much more comfortable in that 10 spot. Last game put him out on that left-hand wing, and he's been great.
There's an appeal for a wrap-up tackle there. Goes unheard. It is with New York. There was a touch there. New York has scored a goal and a half a game this year. Not quite their best offensive performance. They've set records in this league. Good cross and lifted up, and there's Miller pulling it down. Loudoun has only scored now 7 goals in nearing 7.5 games. Loudoun last year in their final 25 after making the coaching change scored nearly 2 goals a game, 49 in their final 25. So the goals were there, just hadn't really come with all that much flow yet this season. Chances galore in this first half.
Well, for both of these teams defensively, it's been better as well. Loudoun United given up a goal in every match that they've played in, except for the first one all the way back in March against Philadelphia Union 2. Red Bull 2 can make the same claim. Not exactly one they want to brag about. Doesn't matter how many balls you're putting in the back of the net, got to be able to defend as well. The good news is they are creating much better performances from both teams here in the opening 45 minutes. Both John Wolenek, Ryan Martin going to be quite content with where they're at right now. Of course, he's going to ask more of them in the second half. So much at stake for this game. Group F. Not exactly sure what was going to play out with that second spot. Everybody felt like the Riverhounds were going to be the #1 seed, and the way it's playing out right now, it is Hartford Athletic the surprise. Red Bull 2 and Loudoun United trying to get back on track. And the way that they're playing right now, it's going to be a long second half with high intensity. I'm excited.
7 additional minutes in this first half. Stoppage time brought to you by Ortho Virginia. There's the push ahead, the ball line across, right back down the middle for Miller. The follow-up goes skying way out of play from Lemma.
Is more difficult than it looks for Colin Miller in traffic. Does a good job spilling this ball. I thought there was a deflection at the top of the 18 to knock this back over the top. Well, maybe our referee would have pointed to the quarter. Chris Lemma stepping up into that pocket of space. You talk about the crop of players that have been and started to do things at other organizations now, Mike, other levels. Chris Lemma is one of those guys for me. I think that he could be one of those players for sure.
Lemma trying to follow in the footsteps of another number 80 Red Bull organization. He's had some good moments over the years. Vincent Bezecourt. Caden Clark brought down. Coming up at halftime, a message from the players on this Pride Night at Segra Field. Also, Devin dishes. Highlights and stats. Torre, referee puts his hand down, quells the discussion over a potential penalty. We'll walk this back. It's only Loudoun's second home game this year. If been Hartford enough already, if you talk to Ryan Martin, he said we're tired of it. Those bus trips up 95. A little less travel. Happy to sleep in their own bed tonight. It's been just over a year since this stadium opened. Leesburg, Virginia. Dev, that's one thing that really doesn't hurt moving forward. Last year, okay, that's a lot of road games. But travel was different back then. 2020 has made everything more difficult.
Yep.
For Loudoun, a few less road trips down the stretch make an even bigger difference than they used to.
Oh my God.
Amo powering out of midfield. And look at how quickly this can turn. Clark rolling it straight down, and Colin Miller floats this out to midfield, and it's struck instantly and well wide off the volley. Dev, what do you think of this, having three players flanking Miller on all these goal kicks, with the way Red Bull so often can fly at you off these moments?
If you're going to play out of the back, you got to give yourself options. And if they're going to play that high, you bring support back, get your goalkeeper to play with his feet as well. But playing like this with the decision making, you're going back to the initial option. You're playing from goal, long ball out, and then you're in trouble.
Look at this run all the way across the face of goal and hammered home. Red Bulls 2 regain the lead, and the story continues to be Jake LaCava.
Leads us right into our point, Mike. If you're going to bring this many players back, you have to be more efficient in your decision making. And if you hit the panic button, this ball's got to be knocked 50, 60 yards downfield, because then the spacing just opens up. Shane Wheat, Timmy Mel, Saravia at the right back position. Everybody is out of shape to no fault of their own, because you've asked them to play in a fight at him out of space. The press comes from Red Bull 2, and the second of the night comes from Jake LaCava.
One would imagine Chris Armas and the whole Red Bull apparatus is watching players like LaCava and Clark. Lemma, Rito have been around the block. It's been a fun match from New York thus far. Loudoun equalized once. Can they do it again in the final 90 seconds of this first half? High hand. Free kick. Well done by Rito to go make good there. Foul in the press. Yaya Toure. There's room here to operate. Mel.
I'd like to see Caden Clark on the ball more. The problem is when they have gone into him, he's been really poor in terms of efficiency going the other direction. As great as that ball was on the assist that he played in the 19th minute, hasn't been good enough since.
Looking for a first half hat trick. LaCava is getting after it again. Tolkien to throw. Referee gave that a look. There was a goal here in stoppage time, so we have gone past the minimum 7 minutes. And there is the halftime whistle. High energy, up-tempo stuff. A penalty saved keeps this from being a more difficult first half for Loudoun. They did equalize. Lakava scores twice. Mustafa scores for Loudoun 2-1.
Outside of the injury to Sebastian Elney, you've got a lot of boys who have to go a long way in this second half to complete their shifts. With all the emotion and physical prowess that's been put forth by the visitors in Red Bull 2. Something special in the second 45 minutes coming your way? You hope so. Both of these teams trying to find a way to call back into Group F. Riverhounds and Hartford Athletic in their sights. Red Bull in the driver's seat come second half.
Segra halftime coming up.
This is business today. Fast, unpredictable, always changing. Shifting trends and technologies are pushing aside old rules. The unexpected is the new normal. At Segra, we'll help you navigate a complex future with state-of-the-art voice, internet, and data protection solutions. We know you have dreams, and we see your potential. Segra, freedom to grow.
In the heart of DC's wine country lies a retreat and conference center like no other, where award-winning chefs create signature dishes using local farms, where the wine is poured just miles from the vines and the beer is brewed right next door, where challenge courses invigorate and meeting rooms inspire, where the welcome starts at check-in and continues throughout your stay. Like Loudoun United, the National Conference Center builds world-class teams in the place we all call home. Saddle up.
If you were injured tomorrow, the ER may not be your best option. At Ortho Virginia, we can treat urgent orthopedic injuries without an appointment and diagnose non-urgent injuries virtually through video visits. Take the first step toward recovery, because stronger starts here.
Hey everybody, please, if you get a minute, download the new Loudoun United app. We're very excited to unleash this for our first game this Wednesday here, and it should be an exciting new project that everybody's put together. So if you can, download the new app. There'll be different trivia games going on, as well as score predictions that you can put in and enter to win prizes for this one here. Hopefully you put that Loudoun wins. That would be a win for all of us.
Loudoun United, we are proud of our diverse support, and we always celebrate all those who support us, no matter the race, gender, religious belief, or sexual orientation. Everyone deserves to live in a world where they feel comfortable in their own skin. We stand loud and united in our continued desire for equality for all.
And tonight we all stand loud and united with our brothers and sisters in the LGBTQ community. It's Segra Field. It's halftime between Loudoun and Red Bulls 2. And as we do every week, we serve up the dish.
Let's do it. Why not? It's 2020. Things are crazy. Another episode of The Dish coming at you. It's coming quickly. But it's not going to be goals. It's going to be Brandon Miller. Some kind of form in 2020 for that man. He's been spectacular for the Charlotte Independents. Mike Jeffries always sings his praises. Brandon Miller sings for himself. More of an a cappella group. My name is Ray Ortiz. I like long walks on the beach, combination play, and bangers. Check me out from the top of the 18. Check my profile page as well. I like to score goals. Maybe we can hang out sometime. Ray Ortiz, fantastic finish in the 59th minute. That would be the lone goal. Some not so fun things happening at the tail end of this match. Akeem Ward gets stuck in with Clay Dimmick. Watch this. That's going to leave a mark. 2-game suspension for the outside back for North Carolina FC. 3 losses in a row. That's the longest under the tenure of Dave Saraken. Not so good in Group G. Let's turn the page. Group F, the Charleston Battery. Just absolutely demolishing Miami FC. You know I refuse to say THE because it's not a real word unless you're putting goals in the back of the net and putting points up on the board. The Battery know what I'm talking about. Romario Piggott, check out this half turn, top of the 18, 34th minute. Don't mind if you do, young man. They'd get back within 1. Miguel Gonzalez, 53rd minute, great ball by Janusz Luba. Romario Williams would step off the pitch. Not great distribution up top. He was frustrated. I would be too. Got to find a way to get Paul Dalglish's boys going in the right direction, just like this. Dante Marini. Why not? 3-1, Charleston Battery. They're keeping pace with the Tampa Bay Rowdies. Still unbeaten, the Tampa Bay Rowdies, but Charleston Battery right there. And what's the name of this game again? Group E, LIPAFC. Lipa FC, absolutely. Let's run it back. Antoine Opino. No, it's not Lancaster. No, it's not Luke Spencer. Yes, it is Paolo Del Piccolo. Great movement by Antoine Opino, who steps into the number 9 position, drops it back to his captain, who just puts this one to bed. I mean, it's nice. There's a bottom sheet, a top sheet. Gets them nice and comfy, sticks it in the bottom corner. 1-0, that's all they needed. A couple quality saves by Evaduton, but it would not be enough. The story is the fact that they are 4-1-4. Is it a rivalry if in 9 games you only have 1 win? I'm still trying to figure that one out, and I did get the addition and mathematics, subtraction, ties, whatever. I got it right. 4-1-4, Louisville FC. Good stuff. Pittsburgh Riverhounds, 3-0. Canardo Forbes goes down, no problem. My name's Ryan James. Ray Ortiz likes scoring bangers. I'm just clinical. Far post, fantastic stuff from Ryan James. Inside 11 minutes, again, Canardo Forbes goes out in the opening 5. You thought maybe their heads are gonna drop, maybe their heads are gonna roll. Mondonda comes off the line, and Danny Griffin. Danny Griffin. Ryan James with the brace. By the way, scores 2 goals in this game. Only had 2 goals in an entire career coming in. Riverhounds to the top, Group F.
Magnificent celebration from Ryan James. That goal was on SportsCenter Top 10 this morning, and as David Lloyd said, that's the Riverhounds. They'll do that to you. We've got Red Bull and Loudoun here tonight. We continue our halftime coverage when we return.
The United Soccer League and its 47th championship in League One clubs stand united in support of diversity, inclusivity, equality, and compassion. Together, we can make a difference. Together, we can create change. Together, we are united against racism.
Passing here, fans enjoying it. Touch now, and the Rowdies attacking, shooting, and scoring! What a goal!
Smith able to get forward, the one-time cross into the area, cleared away. Palmer keeps this one alive. He's gonna have a go, and he scores! Great goal from Palmer. It is 2-1 for Orange County Soccer Club.
Good for Wole, use his body. One time to Mo, what a strike! Something from nothing.
Never seems to put a foot wrong. Here's Seguru. Looping ball into the box. Bouchard will head it back. Oh, and it's a beautiful goal from Suarez.
Played forward, Davis tried to slip it through. Does so to Sierakowski. Sierakowski with the chip and the goal!
This is business today. Fast, unpredictable, always changing. Shifting trends and technologies are pushing aside old rules. The unexpected is the new normal. At Segra, we'll help you navigate a complex future with state-of-the-art voice, internet, and data protection solutions. We know you have dreams, and we see your potential. Segra, freedom to grow.
Welcome back. Tonight's halftime presentation is brought to you by Segra. Performance, flexibility, and scalability you can count on. New York Red Bulls 2-2, Loudoun United 1. With Devin Kerr, Mike Watts on hand to look at news and notes from around the league. Solomon Asante continues to pile up the numbers. He could get a double-double in half a season.
No big deal.
Nah.
I mean, it's no big deal for him to rewrite everything in the record books. It'll be an interesting matchup that he's going to have tonight, though. On the road at Reno 1868 FC. St. Louis FC ceasing operations at the end of the year. Saddened for sure, but they can go out with a bang. Started tonight with Lou City.
Kings Cup tonight, and they are right in the thick of things in their group. Tampa Bay and San Antonio continue unbeaten. San Antonio continued that last night on ESPN Deportes. As you can see, a look at the most pertinent games. Pittsburgh blowout victory, and all of a sudden Hartford's watching this game going, who's coming for the throne?
That was their best performance so far over the course of 90 minutes for the Pittsburgh Riverhounds. They did it on the road. They did it without their captain, Kenardo Forbes. Birmingham Legion, Jaden Cervania gets his second goal of the 2020 campaign on the road at the Independence. That's a nice Group G matchup. And just kicked off, Charleston Battery hopes their arsenal is enough to take down the unbeaten Tampa Bay Rowdies. I'm calling it Battery victory.
Wow, all right. Well, it is 2-1 here. And a look at what that means in Group F. If New York were to finish this off, they'd move to 9 points. All of a sudden with those games against Hartford down the stretch, watch out.
Win tonight, win against Hartford, win against Pittsburgh. You win 3 in a row. You had 9. You're at 15 points, just one behind Hartford Athletic.
Pretty impressive. And of course, Pittsburgh has played 10 games. It means everybody at least has a chance to try and catch up. Right now, Loudoun and New York have a long way to go, but New York trying to pursue those 3 points this evening. We continue our halftime presentation, sponsored by Segra, when we return.
This is business today. Fast, unpredictable, always changing. Shifting trends and technologies are pushing aside old rules. The unexpected is the new normal. At Segra, we'll help you navigate a complex future with state-of-the-art voice, internet, and data protection solutions. We know you have dreams, and we see your potential. Segra, freedom to grow.
In the heart of DC's wine country lies a retreat and conference center like no other, where award-winning chefs create signature dishes using local farms, where the wine is poured just miles from the vines and the beer is brewed right next door, where challenge courses invigorate and meeting rooms inspire, where the welcome starts at check-in and continues throughout your stay. Like Loudoun United, the National Conference Center builds world-class teams in the place we all call home. Saddle up.
If you were injured tomorrow, the ER may not be your best option. At Ortho Virginia, we can treat urgent orthopedic injuries without an appointment and diagnose non-urgent injuries virtually through video visits. Take the first step toward recovery, because stronger starts here.
Welcome back, everybody. Not a lot of sun left. There was plenty of it in the early going, slashing across the field, but it's given way to a beautiful evening in Virginia. Tonight's first half highlights are brought to you by Segra. Whatever your business dreams, we're building the network to get you there. We begin in the 19th minute, and wow, this pass is spectacular.
Mike, they say it takes 2 to tango, but there is some kind of samba going on between Caden Clark and Jake LaCava in this match. Let's start off with the beautifully placed ball in the 19th minute. LaCava runs up underneath it, sticks it in the back of the net. Emotion, physicality, everything seemed to run this game. And he got a bit more of a push on the right side. Sharif J, quick back across his left body. Foul. Yeah, this is 100% a penalty. Elvis Samo gets himself into trouble. So, in steps Colin Miller. Up steps Sharif J. Save bottom corner. Fantastic stuff by the Metminder. Sebastianelli coming in on the backside of this. He would get subbed off. That's a big loss for Red Bull 2. He goes out about 15 minutes later in the 35th minute. So, Red Bull 2 have been the aggressor the entire time. A couple brief moments for Loudoun United. And it seems like everybody that's playing on the right wing tonight wants to have a little fun. Michael Gamble places this ball. Not as good as Caden Clark. but a fantastic one at that. Mustafa finishes it off, cut across the body, left foot back in the net, gets it to 1-1. Let's go 10 minutes later, 45+5. The press is in full force for New York Red Bull 2. Terrible play coming out of the back for Loudoun United. Poor decision making. He makes them pay. Second goal of the night for him. Second for Red Bull 2. Up 2-1 at halftime.
And that is the perfect example of what Red Bull 2 is trying to do. Tonight's stats brought to you by Segra, providing customized communication services for the office and out on the field.
Neither team been very accurate on the ball, to be fair, Mike. But the buildup has been fun to watch. For the most part, when they are making mistakes, it's in the final third. And as a manager, that's what you want. You want to express yourself artistically. Once you cross over half field, you make a mistake, do it 25, 30, 40 yards from goal. Don't do it in your own half. The only time that happened, Loudoun United, yeah, they got themselves into trouble. It's the second goal of the night.
Jake LaCava, time in the Red Bull Academy, but before that, Galaxy and the Barca residency in Arizona. Trialed over in France and in Denmark. Ultimately chose to sign with Red Bull 2 over the summer during the pandemic shutdown. And he has just been tremendous and lethal in the attack. 2 goals for LaCava in that first half. Red Bulls 2 ahead, 2-1 as we head into the second 45. Devin Kerr, Mike Watts on hand. Yesterday, Pittsburgh over Hartford 3-0. Means Pittsburgh stands alone atop the group. Hartford 3 points behind them, and then these two teams are sitting 10 and 11 points behind Hartford respectively. And Union 2. Don't forget Union 2.
They've got a couple games in hand. The fact that they've had their recent matches postponed. Talked about the upcoming schedules for both of these teams. Pittsburgh Riverhounds, they'll face Loudoun. Short rest for Ryan Martin's team. They're going to play on Tuesday. Then Red Bull, Hartford, Loudoun. Round and round we go.
There's barely any contact there. There's barely any contact.
Still, I go back to this being a make or break game. Hartford Athletic loses last night to the Pittsburgh Riverhounds. You turn the page, rest, recovery, frustrating performance for sure. They now go at Philadelphia Union 2, which was postponed. They get Loudoun again. Riverhounds, Red Bull, Union 2, Riverhounds. I mean, everything is just coming down to these 6-point swings, which brings me back to either one of them get a result tonight. You go 2-3 in a row, you're right back in the thick of things.
Ball from Mustafa, he gets rolled over, and the referee coming in from behind. Thumbs up there from Mustafa. This will be a corner. Elsewhere tonight, DC is actually playing Philadelphia Union, and Kasper Shabilko just scored in the opening minutes of that one, and the Union are ahead against Loudoun's MLS side. Corner here for Loudoun. It's a rivalry night in this group. Little tug there on Mustafa, battles through it. Tried to swing a ball toward goal. Ball in front. And play will come back. Lapsley had that covered, but he's going to have a little more work to do now. Gamble and Garay over the ball. Garay, DMV through and through. Gamble Much wider swath of land covered. Ball over the top, and the header steered wide by Amo.
He's going to want this one back. Elvis Amo did everything right in traffic. Lifts himself up, times it well. The redirect, just not what you thought you would get out of someone who's just over 6'2". Creates the perfect amount of separation. Another great ball by Jeremy Gray. Slots in between Kilwine and Boateng. Comes down to execution, Mike. Put your forehead on it, put it down away from the goalkeeper, and you're back to even.
Can New York break through? Lemma, culture ball, and knocked toward the penalty spot. Had Caden Clark making a run. The offside flag was up.
Well, if I'm Red Bull too, I'm going after that right backside for Loudoun United. Timmy Mel, Shane Wheat, Jacob Green have done pretty well for themselves, but Sedavia seems to be caught out on an island at times, doing battle against Yaya Torre. Loads of space over there to work with, and a lot of counterattacks coming from that side.
Lemma able to help to keep it. Tolkien, big hand to that second, terrific save by Colin Miller. Resurrects himself and able to knock it aside. Colin Miller has come to play, he stopped the penalty, and that was terrific as well. And Mustafa with a letdown. In slides Green. These teams have enough gas in the tank to get through the end here. Lemma. Followed by Amo, out to Torre. Saravia pursues. Colin Miller, a moment ago, with really tremendous flexibility to get back up here and make a second stop.
Heck of a sequence for Colin Miller. Penalty in the first half. Watch. First one, down low to his left. Recovers his bearing, gets right back up, goes to work over to his right side. Caden Clark. This had glory in the upper 90 on the left-hand side, built all over it. Their goalkeeper has done a fantastic job this evening. Great communication on the backside. He's got to watch the right back position. Sedavia, we just talked about him. Otherwise, he has locked this thing down.
Corner New York. And this pops right to Miller off the head of Fawole. Colin Miller, they saw great promise in him at the Combine. Came out of Providence, where he was the Big East goalkeeper of the year. Time playing in front of those great fans at Detroit City Football Club. Leading ball ahead. LaCava was hoping to win a corner in the end. Play stopped. Will be a goal kick. Skill wins the foul. Part of the concern for Loudoun coming into this game, they conceded so many fouls in difficult to defend positions against Hartford. And Marcus Nagelstad made them pay for it. Loudoun could be 2 points richer right now, if not for the final moments against Hartford last time out.
That's both the mental and physical fatigue creeping into you when you've pretty much emptied everything in the tank, Mike. One after a victory. Such a highly rated opponent in Hartford Athletic. Now Chris Leonard's on the ball. Check this near post. Loads of space.
It's Sharifi.
They had him there, exactly what I was thinking. So much room to play with, right around the 6-yard box. It's hard at that angle. Sometimes in these situations, you're such close proximity to the goal, all you need is a little redirect. Especially with how technically gifted these players are in Red Bull 2.
Jay, eventually dispossessed on Mustafa, nearly broke that through. This may hold up on the turf, but Clark won't get there. Dev, this is too much fun for me. I'm imagining The Simpsons release the hounds every time they... And this time they'll go a little bit further away. Give themselves some breathing room. Sharif. Nearly taken away by Amo. The play continues here for New York. Clark! He scores! Caden Clark grabs his first goal. Clark and LaCava both with their first pro goals. 3-1 New York.
Just like the second goal, Mike, this is going to come off that high press. It was good decision-making by Jeremy Gray coming to the back, but the minute he releases it to Elvis Amo, look at the 2v1 battle. Then ball comes back in. Jacob Green can't do anything with it, and we're off to the races. Really well done by Red Bull 2 here. All the space that he wants, that drifting run coming from Clayton Clark at the backside. We've seen it from Jake LaCava, now Caden Clark. His first goal and a Red Bull 2 uniform is a fantastic one that puts them out in front by 2.
Pro goal number 1 for the Minnesota native. Feel he plays with so much energy, can play on both sides of the ball. Magnificent assist in the first half, his 4th of the year. And while at times it's been a bit uneven, can't argue with his offensive output thus far tonight. And Loudoun has a remarkable hill to climb in New York. 3 goals to the good, up 3-1. Trying to grab 3 points and close the gap on Hartford. Gosh, if I'm Hartford or Pittsburgh right now, I'm thinking, don't let New York back into this. We've seen this movie before.
Yeah, come on.
Change coming here for Loudoun.
Hey, stop, Jason.
Won't get it in yet.
27 for me.
A little bit of a dance here. Settled, 1v1. Oh, the flag was up. Here's the change. It's time for another Segra substitution. Coup Di Pietro for Lindor. And you mentioned everything he touched last year turned to gold, or at least goals. Hasn't been the case this year.
No, he's struggled for sure, and you can see he's frustrated with himself and his performance. Hasn't been the greatest. Not the only change they're going to make, though. Momo is coming in, and there's the change that I figured would happen, Mike. Sedavia, the right back. He's just been picked to pieces. And finally, Ryan Martin understands. Down by 2. Still got a pretty decent amount of time to make their way back into this, but he's got to stop the bleeding, and it starts at the right back position. Momo steps in to help out.
There moves Momo, his 3rd appearance. He's played all 26 minutes. Former Penn product. Time at FC Baltimore Christos in NPSL. Just skittered away from Clark. Trouble brewing, perhaps. Clark off the turnover, trying to lay this off. Excellent effort, reaching back by Mel. And now can they break out the other way? Kubi Pietro. Kubi Pietro's played it along. Mustafa, that's blocked. And that's sent all the way into the district.
End-to-end stuff. Things really opening up here as we continue on in this game. 30 minutes to go, down to Loudoun United, trying to pick up the pace. I would imagine with this change, Favole will go up top as the striker, and Ted Kudu Pietro will step into the attacking number 10 role. You could double it with the pivot up top as well, with the way that Mustafa's playing. And they have switched sides already. Gamble going to the right and he to the left. That's what the look has been in the second half so far.
Closing in on the hour mark at halftime. Birmingham 2 goals ahead of Charlotte. That game airing on ESPN+. Oh, Devin, look at this. Devin said this would be the day the Rowdies went down.
I told you I shook the magic 8-ball. It's really the only way I get these decisions right. To be fair, it did say your future is unclear, so I had to make that decision on my own. But, you know, you go with what you know, Mike.
Garay takes over. St. Louis and Louisville coming up. That is a massive game. Second place on the line in that group. Ball rolled ahead. Thought they had played through Gamble.
Play quick here if you can. Don't let Red Bull 2 recover.
Well, the moments have been there for Loudoun.
Just watch the speed up top now. Alianador had speed as well, but his recognition of where the space is and where he should be is where really struggled in the first half, and that spilled over into the second. For Wole, it's been a bit different. Also, the fact that he's so comfortable dropping into the number 10 spot, but is an out-and-out striker by trade. Understanding his environment gives you the ability to create pretty much the same look you've given so far. But now when those runs start to come, you're hoping the spin-offs are going in the right direction. Just working on Barry Sharifi right now. Olenek would hate to lose another one. Such an impactful player Sharifi is alongside Chris Lemma.
Sharifi, one of the many guys who've come through the Red Bull Academy and then they've watched ultimately choose to go the collegiate route after. Georgetown, for instance, has grabbed a ton of Red Bull Academy products over the years to great effect. The case of Sharifi went to Loyola, Maryland, and was 3-time Patriot League Midfielder of the Year. Eventually a third-round draft pick in New York, but they always kept their eye on him. You could argue he's the best player in Loyola, Maryland's history. Certainly the most accolades of any player in that program's history. Now Mustafa goes down, and there's shouts here from this crowd. This socially distanced crowd in Leesburg tonight. Header forward from Mustafa. Boy, this is a dangerous dribble. Mustafa helps to take it away. Kubi Pietro running out of room. Throw Loudoun. Sometimes a little blasé about it in the back. Lost by Torre. Chance for Loudoun to get one back. And Gamble right at him. Goodness me, couldn't have been any easier for Lapsley. It looked like he may have been tripping up a little bit, but Loudoun continues to pour on pressure. Mustafa, Coup di Pietro, slide in. Mustafa brings it down! Mustafa's got two! Pumping up this crowd! And it's a game. Late 3-2.
Close one as well, Mike. Thought the initial ball played in back behind was an offside one at that. Now Mustafa once again cutting in. Right side in the first half. There's the switch. Gamble goes over. He comes to the left. And this ball right there. The backside run. There's a better look. John Tolkien kept him onside. As Mustafa lays this off, Coup di Pietro coming back through, wants to go it alone. Just shows itself in the sort of the smallest deflection to Mustafa. What a fantastic performance this young man is having. Sticks it in the back of the net. Strap yourselves in, 25 to go.
The goal brought to you by Loudoun Economic Development, always here to help you with your business goals. Red Bull nearly trying to grab one back here. Mustafa in the 40th and the 64th. His first two goals in a Loudoun uniform.
Oh, Mike, just seconds before that, you were looking at me and I was just had this utter disgusting look on my face of what I had just witnessed and how Gamble hadn't finished the other chance off.
Slide in there, pointing back, advantage played. Loudoun into the final third, trying to tie this thing up. Coup di Pietro allows it through. Mustafa punched away by Lapsley. Looking for his hat trick, and it would have been a curling stroke of genius. Red Bull made a change at the stoppage. They brought in Omar Sow. Replaces Sharifi, who had gone down with an injury. It's another substitution brought to you by Segra.
Number 12 is second of the night,
Oh, this game has just been some heart rate raising stuff. Amo lays this over. Green. Mustafa, terrific challenge to stand that up. And the race is on. Lemma through So. So. Creating the space. So. And that off the thigh of Colin Miller. Lemma, Clark. Another dynamic run. Mustafa nearly tied this thing up.
The build-up play has been nothing short of spectacular. Look at Gamble on the left side. Coup di Pietro just leaves this. Recognizes that Mustafa, not only is he having some kind of night, he's in the right place, right time, every moment that they've had. Trying to pick out the far post. Mike, if you took the best run of form from each of these teams in every game that they've played prior and put them together, you would not have a performance like you've seen out of them tonight. That's how well they are playing.
Two sides that play similarly offensively, maybe not tactically. As this goes out, there's this reckless abandon sometimes when they get forward. There's so much energy and passion, and sometimes you see those sparks of creativity as well. Corner, New York. Caden Clark was shown a yellow about a moment ago.
That was for the challenge on the counterattack in the midfield. Referee did a great job of letting the continuation take shape and ended up with the Mustafa chance.
That's a wayward corner for New York. Don't miss a minute of action in 2020. Sign up today. Get alerts all year long by following your club on ESPN.com. Search for Loudoun United or New York Red Bulls 2 and then click on the follow button. Keep up with the latest news and scores, plus get reminders on your team's next match. Go to ESPN.com now and click follow for your club.
You following your club, Mike?
Yeah, the phone's buzzing all night. Do you know how tough it is to keep track of all 35 teams?
Just turn my phone off. I'll let you handle that for me. I'll buy you dinner, make it up to you.
That's why we show the scores up in the corner from time to time.
It's your phone
that
giving
is
us updates.
My,
Exactly.
It's an Android called Sharny.
Oh. New AI. She's a work in progress.
Indeed. Could this stay in? It won't for Momo. Here's Tolkien moving over. Chris Armas had really big words about him in the lead up to this. He was the 22nd Red Bull homegrown, signed back in January. Talk about how fearless he was in preseason, the high soccer IQ. And you think about 22 homegrowns. New York has come so far with their academy over the years. They're, of course, in such a hotbed, as is D.C., Virginia, Maryland. New York, Connecticut, New Jersey, certainly fertile. Bring great players over the years before the MLS era and certainly since. But talking with Ryan Martin, who of course has such a critical role in the academy setup for DC United as well, in addition to his role as the head coach for Loudoun United, said at the time when they first opened up, hey, we're 3 or 4 years behind New York. They've had this full professional runway all the way into the USL and eventually MLS. There's a reason for great excitement going forward.
Just keep an eye on this left backside right now, Mike. Speaking of all that talent.
One high up the field by Loudoun. There's some pushing and shoving. Comes out here to Ku Di Pietro. Floats it forward for Fawole.
Sharif J and Marceau rotating to this right side. Jacob Green starting to gamble a little bit here, trying to chase that third goal. He and Al Mustafa playing a really high line. Dangerously at times. The press and quick counter. You've worked so hard to get back in. It's not time to hit the panic button just yet. Offside position coming back in for Wole.
And we've reached a moment to catch your breath. Joel Fala will come in. Played at Ramapo, twice an All-American in Division III. I saw him at the Red Bull Combine. Native of Cape May in New Jersey, a collegiate center forward who's transitioning all the way to the back. End of the line here for Jay, so it looks like he may start a little higher up the field. We shall see. They'll make some pretty hefty tactical changes here down the stretch. It's another sub brought to you by Segra.
New York Red Bull substitution in the 73rd minute.
It hasn't exactly been overwhelming on that back line for them so far. Imagine with the moves that they made, they'll try him out at the right back spot, move Boomtong in midfield where Jay was sitting. Won't allow him to progress as high of a line as they had under LaCava.
Loudoun loads up again, and an early ball over Fawole. Mustafa couldn't corral it. What a story he's been. Off the deflection, it goes skying over, corner.
Joe Fallow's got to be one of the target pieces at 6'7", just coming on for John Wolinak's squad. Haven't really seen them go short yet. It's Caden Clark trying to sneak to the corner here with Chris Lemma. It's an option.
Lemma, that was comfortable enough. Bontong came in for Rito a few moments ago as well. And we have reached a stoppage here for hydration. So a hydration break here in a game that has just been tremendously high-paced, nearly from the outset. Mustafa has scored twice and nearly has bagged a hat trick. LaCava has scored twice for New York, and right now the difference maker belongs to Caden Clark. Clark played this ball early on, and LaCava sealed the deal in the 19th.
Fantastic ball up over the top. Just kept going on Mustafa. Well done. Look at the pressure coming on the left shoulder. Knows the hit's going to come. Still doesn't matter. Keep it going. 45-5. LaCava again. This one from Torre. Well done. Would get a third. That'll come from Caden Clark. He opens his professional scoring campaign. Beautiful left foot sticks that in the back of the net. And now Mustafa in the 64th minute. This time on the right foot as he shifts over to the left-hand side. And they get within one. 14 minutes to go here. A little water break with the coaches. Get some liquid courage in you and get back at it.
Liquid courage? It's Gatorade, Devin.
Just telling you. You need something to get through matches like this.
Actually, I think that's Powerade, if I'm being completely honest.
I was always a big fan of the salt tablets. They were fun.
You know, the new blue Red Bull energy drinks I'm a big fan of. I know you can't drink caffeine or you're climbing the walls. Red Bull gives you more than wings.
I'm climbing the walls regardless. It's like throwing me Spider-Man up against Velcro. I'll be up there all day long. Give me one of those things, even a sip.
Devin with coffee in the latter hours of the day is a Devin that's going to be awake all night, not because of his young son either. Back into play, 78th minute. Red Bull has led the majority of this match. If they can win here, they can move that much closer to Hartford. They could be 7 points out of a playoff position with a couple games against Hartford still to be played. They just lost at Hartford, fell behind 2 goals in the opening half. They're on a 4-match losing streak in which they've conceded 11 times. If they win here tonight, a lot of that in the rearview mirror. They've made the playoffs every year of their existence, and now existential threat to that streak.
Mike, I brought it up to you that Red Bull 2, we're going to start attacking the right back position more because of Alexis Saravia and how frustrating of a performance he had. They bring in Momo. They've backed off of that. Keep an eye on the same spot on the field for Red Bull 2 now. Joe Falla coming to that outside back position. You talked about the transition from a striking spot onto the back line. He's pretty much been on the inside as a center back. Now you isolate him out in the one-on-ones. A lot of speed out there, and guess who he's matched up against? Mustafa. 2 goals on the night. Guy's got a boatload of confidence. That could be an interesting matchup. 12 minutes to go.
Loudoun waiting to make another change here late. Could swing the momentum. Nobody home. going to be Gabara who comes on. End of the night for Michael Gamble. His best chance at goal was lackluster. Did play well in midfield in totality. Substitution brought to you by Segra.
Just seemed like overall the consistency wasn't there for Gamble, and kind of been his year in 2020.
Gabara's soccer royalty. Son of a pro coach and a collegiate coach who both have been around the game for such a long time.
That's beautifully done by Fawole. Watch them play out here. Good stuff. And they go quick with pace. They've definitely turned it up here in the second half. Loud now, Mustafa again.
Here he comes, Mustafa sends it across. Gabara! There's a hand to that, the header out. Not all that strong. Momo comes over to get a piece. Lapsley coming up with another big stop.
Do it again, David!
Goal kick. 80 minutes in, and it still feels like there's a goal in this game.
Just look at all the rotation though, Mike. Really good job. And then when you're in a 1v1, there's the matchup I talked about. Now Mustafa, Joe Fala. Good step in on the outside. The youngster come all the way back across just inside the 18. How well done is this by Wallace Lapsley though?
One here by Loudoun high up the field. There's the ball over the top. Mustafa, heavy touch. Can he reach around and get this still? Lays it off. Here's the chance. Lapsley didn't have to do a lot of work there. Gabara's made himself instrumental in the early going since coming on. Rolls back and away from Momo. Oh, Devin, how exciting is this? On the road, can't watch the match. Turn on SiriusXM FC, North America's only 24/7 source of soccer radio, featuring Ray Hudson, Tony Miola, and Rodney Marsh. Fans of the USL can now listen to the best matches of the week, along with action from MLS, the Premier League, and the Champions League. SiriusXM FC, channel 157 on your SiriusXM radio and the SiriusXM app. I was going to sing it, I just didn't have it in me. The Champions. Here comes New York. There's contact, but not enough to draw the penalty from Mel.
I'm waiting for the baritone. Bring it. Don't do it.
Okay.
Don't do it. It's over, you know?
Yep.
Plus, you know, I'm still salty. Liverpool couldn't repeat, so.
I think they were one of the first clubs to say Messi's definitely not coming here.
Yeah.
You see some of these League One teams in USL going, we do have an open roster spot.
The closest thing that Messi ever got to Liverpool was his Beatles-style haircut when he was 19 years old in the early 2000s. That's about it.
If you want to talk about a guy who's taken a long and wide-ranging series of approaches to hairdos over the years, Lionel Messi's your man. This will not reach the opposite side. Green has gotten way up the field compared to the early going of this game.
Yeah, that 1-2 punch in this left side has proved quite lucrative here in the second half. Still waiting for it to poke its head out.
Green trying again against Fala. Fala's a big body, but right now, coming off the bench, struggling a little bit with some of these shiftier players.
The thing for him is it's just understanding the space, right? Like, he's got great athleticism, especially for his size, standing at 6'7", reads the game well. The problem is spend the majority of your career as a striker up top, and then you get thrust on the back line. It's just a different look. You know, I made that transition, and I did it over the better portion of 6 years. You're looking at a guy that, over the course of his collegiate career, put 47 in the back of the net in 75 games. The switch isn't going to flip that quickly.
So initially it was a Clark down, now it's on Mustafa who's down. Mustafa really impressing tonight. Goals in the 40th and the 64th. Played in Niger's Premier League and ultimately in the U17 World Cup back in 2017.
He was fantastic that year. Africa Cup of Nations as well. Niger went 1-2-0. That's World Cup that was in India. It's actually the last time that the now, well, I guess you could call him world famous, right? Getting there. Christian Pulisic, last time that he strapped on the U17 jersey for the United States.
It wasn't really necessary after that, was it?
No. He started buying beers for all the big boys. Not allowed to have one. We started getting money in his pocket and said, all right, youngster, you're the designated driver and you're paying for the waters tonight.
Such a bright start for Pulisic in that final for Chelsea at Wembley. Hope to see him back soon enough. We're 86 minutes in now. It's 3-2 New York in a game where New York has been on the front foot. Loudoun has not led. They're trying to even this up now. Ball through, Green. Wrong side of him. He's able to turn, tries to get the ball in front. And there's the offside flag. If you're Hartford and Pittsburgh, surely you're hoping for a draw tonight.
Of course. You don't want anybody gaining any more ground than need be. Well, the Pittsburgh Riverhounds after last night. Start to finish, it's the best I've seen them play in quite some time, regardless of opposition. And one of the key talking points coming in was, how good is Hartford Athletic? 5-1-1, their one loss to Indy 11, just the match prior. Loudoun had them on the ropes. I mean, they were 5 minutes from a victory, Mike. Just couldn't finish it off.
Good read on the ball by Lemma. On a full sprint. Torre. Picked up by Miller. Loudoun wants to play quick. Ahead on Mustafa. Out of real estate. The USL's elite pre-professional platform, USL Academy, allows clubs across the USL to build a pathway to pro soccer by bringing together top local youth talent. Following the success of the first Academy Cup events, clubs can now apply to participate in the USL Academy League, kicking off spring 2021. For more information, visit usl-academy.com or search hashtag USL Academy on social media. Green trying to work there on the touchline. Played back for Momo. Settled here by Mel. Should be a decent amount of stoppage time. A couple of injuries, plenty of subs. 3 goals in this second half. Beg your pardon, 1 in first half stoppage time, so 2 in this second half.
45 plus 5, 3 off.
Yeah.
It's okay. We're not grading you on your mathematical skills. It's fine.
You know, I was speaking with Landon Donovan this week about where they stand in their group and asking if they're paying attention. He goes, we can all do math. They can. Mel back up. He's grabbing at his right upper arm and shoulder and trying to arm circle that back into a comfortable position. Coup di Pietro. Green. Is time going to run out on Loudoun tonight? Foul, Mo.
The decision making down the stretch. Now you've got to really lock yourself in. Make sure you remain as mentally focused as possible. Tired legs, put in a long shift. You're Loudoun, you may, and I say may, only get 1 more moment and shot at this thing. No unnecessary fouls. Just keep an eye on the clock. But don't go helter-skelter either. There's still plenty of time to build up and show yourselves in what has been a pretty spectacular performance so far. Red Bull 2, same scenario. Lock this thing down. Fresh legs on the back line and in the midfield. Just see if you can see this thing out.
Elsewhere, Kansas City just took a lead against Tulsa. There will be points dropped in second and third in that group. Kansas City has a chance to make things potentially interesting.
And Louisville and St. Louis, 25th minute, 0-0.
Birmingham up 3 goals.
Nico Brett, 2. Starting to pick up some speed over there.
Former Riverhound who really was thrust into a bigger role perhaps than anticipated. Torre is back up. Wolonek, proud former Fordham Ram, former Metro Star, and Red Bull. Won the USL's A-League in Rochester as a player. Won the USL Cup at the time it was termed in 2016 in New York. This win could go a long way to getting New York back into the playoff conversation. Well, they still have plenty of distance to make up due to Hartford's tremendous start this year. Good read by Green. Gabara, slip ball ahead. Oh, that slide right in front of Mustafa. Nearly it. Buntong came in at the vital moment. Mustafa working off the left. There's the cross, the header. Goal kick. Looked like a great moment there for Fawole.
Notice the switch here as well, Mike. Boateng starting to shield over to the right-hand side here. Little help on the back shoulder from Buntong. Chofala steps into the inside. Feels like they are right there. Both of these teams feel like they have a say to at least a point. Red Bull 2, of course, sitting on 3 with 3 to go.
Oh, Mustafa, another great touch, and this time looking for Coup di Pietro. 3 more minutes, and Loudoun pounding on the door.
He can't believe this run doesn't continue. I don't blame him. He did all the hard work for Ted Coup di Pietro in the midfield. All he's got to do is just put this on his left foot. Instead, he pulls up lane, decides to call the runoff, and Mustafa can't find him.
And again, Red Bull can't hang on to the ball. And so Loudoun powers forward again. Few more looks potentially at this. Gabara, former member of the Wolfpack, leading this pack of Loudoun United players ahead. Wheat. Bypasses Garay. Played forward on Mustafa, trying to get around, and there's a foul. On Mustafa into the back. Not a ton in that. Buntong goes down.
I think there is enough of a tug on the back shoulder, though, Mike, with Mustafa. Just enough as the referee's got a good look at it. Buntong, we talked about him dropping back, helping out. There's a switch. And just the tug of the jersey. I agree with you, it's not a lot. The problem is, from the referee's viewpoint, all he's gonna see is an overextended arm grabbing the back of the jersey. He doesn't have that horizontal view that sees how much pressure is actually on him.
I don't disagree with the call, but all the momentum going one way.
Yep. Oh, trust me, if it's my way, the whistle blows twice.
Absolutely.
Start the half and end it.
Gabera. Red Bull 2 have come out and put together such a dynamite offensive performance. Now they're trying to hold off this Loudoun side in the dying minutes. Wheat swung over, and Mel plays it wide. Garay. Loudoun looking for the best chance now. Mustafa on it again. He's been so dangerous, trying to combine with Gabera. Kava's got 2 goals. There's the run, there's the foul from Wheat. Referee goes to the pocket, brandishes a yellow.
This might be game, set, match with the way that the clock is played out here. 6 extra and no real reason whatsoever for there to be that much more. Maybe 15, 20, 30 seconds tops. Especially the foul given on the other end and what's going on right now. Red Bull 2, knock it down in the corner, step on it.
Well, this could be it. In the end, it may just be an exclamation point or a period when this ball gets hit.
Just play it right next to you. I'm not going to goal. You just give an opportunity to go right back to the goalkeeper. They go the other direction. Just touch it to him right next to you. Run into the corner, game's over.
There it is. LaCava went for it. It's going to be a corner. And New York Red Bulls 2 maybe one touch of the ball away from grabbing the most important 3 points of their season.
Clever as well, little touch. Look at the window opens up, you have a strike. Felt like he had a good look at it. Catch the deflection, it goes over. If it doesn't, you step on the ball. Lemma comes over, you help each other out, kill the game off. Either way, you've done exactly what you wanted.
There's the hold up. Maintained here by New York off the turn, so. And again, it stays with New York. We've run well past the 6 minutes. Bit of encroachment. And we wait for 3 puffs. Oh, this is so clever, but offside.
Linesman right there. It's a fantastic job tracking all the runners from the AR.
Goodness, they're going to allow this to play out. If Loudoun grabs a point here, that's it. Full time, New York's 3 biggest points of the season. John Wolyniec can finally turn his watch off. 3-2 New York over Loudoun in a barn burner.
Just like that, within 7 points of Hartford Athletic. Yes, I get it, there's the game in hand, but this is exactly what you wanted if you're John Wolyniec. Momentum on the road, fantastic victory, hard fought at that. And an opportunity coming down the stretch to lay chase. Back-to-back games against Hartford Athletic and the Pittsburgh Riverhounds, and you can put yourself right in one of those spots with an opportunity to grab the #2 position in Group F.
LaCava 2 goals, Clark a goal, Mustafa 2 goals for each of them. It was their first goal in their own uniform. Here's your save of the game, brought to you by Segra.
This wasn't the only one from Colin Miller, but 12 paces away, bottom right corner, little touch of that outstretched right hand. Take it any way you can get it. Kept him in it. Of course, comes up a bit lame, but it was a great job this evening by Colin Miller.
Oh, this was such a good game. We have a post game coming up. We'll show you all the highlights. In the end, it's Caden Clark with the game winner in the 56th minute. 3-2 New York over Loudoun. We wrap it up when we return to Virginia.
In the heart of DC's wine country lies a retreat and conference center like no other, where award-winning chefs create signature dishes using local farms, where the wine is poured just miles from the vines and the beer is brewed right next door, where challenge courses invigorate and meeting rooms inspire, where the welcome starts at check-in and continues throughout your stay. Like Loudoun United, the National Conference Center builds world-class teams in the place we all call home. Saddle up.
Well, for Loudoun fans, they certainly got their money's worth, but they didn't get the points that they were hoping to acquire here tonight. They're away to Pittsburgh, away to Hartford in the next week, and that could very well define their season. They fall to New York 3-2. To welcome you into our post-game full-time highlights brought to you by National Conference Center. Starts in the 19th.
This is a barn burner. End-to-end stuff the entire match, but it really didn't pick up until the 19th minute. Caden Clark, Jake LaCava. I think we're going to hear that one more time. Penalty bottom corner. We already showed you this one. Save of the game, Colin Miller. Why not? So difficult. It's a great penalty by Sharif J. Just really well done by the netminder to read it. Let's speed it up. Get the game time goal. 40th minute. Mustafa, another player who had a fantastic performance this evening. Good ball by Gamble. Right touch back across the body. You can go near post. You can go far post. I'll just go right up over the top of the goalkeeper. And LaCava from Torre. Boom. How good is this in space? Ball comes all the way back across his body, just lets the momentum carry it with him, puts it in that top corner. They go up 2-1. But this would be it right here. Gave everybody an idea of what you were getting with this young man, Caden Clark. 56 minute from Sharif J. Yeah, it's a bounce. Bartender, check please. That goes to 3-1. There was fight in Loudoun United. Mustafa would gain a second goal back. 64th minute, watch this ball back across. Thank you. Little touch, go to work. The little touch off his left foot here. Watch how good this is. Boom, out in front of Chris Lemma. Back across the body on his right foot. Fantastic finish. Too little, too late. Red Bull 2, the victors.
For Loudoun, they still sit on 5 points. For Hartford, maybe some heartburn right now because New York is climbing and there are some games coming up with some real implications.
And we said as bad as it has been for both Loudoun and Red Bull 2, this victory tonight got you ever closer. Of course, Red Bull 2 was 1 up on Loudoun. Now they're 4, 7 points behind. Hartford, Pittsburgh, in the next coming games, 2 more results. We are going to be having a totally different conversation in about 10 days' time.
Oh, what a day for firsts. 3 players score their first goals for their clubs. And New York knocks off Loudoun. For our entire Vista World Link team at home and abroad, producer Sharni Yerke, director Jose Bueso, Manny Simone, Devin Kerr alongside Mike Watts saying, thanks for watching. Red Bulls 2-3, Loudoun 2. So long from Leesburg.
This copyrighted telecast of the United Soccer League Championship cannot be retransmitted, rebroadcast, or reproduced without the expressed written consent of the United Soccer League Championship.